Hey everybody, it's Dustin, and I got some more Callisto Protocol news. There was an article just this past month, or well, it was released this month, coming out next month. I don't know, magazines, you know how that is. But the official PlayStation magazine in the UK had an article for the Callisto Protocol, and a lot of the stuff in there is stuff that we already know, but there's a few things to highlight, and I wanted to make a video real quick to highlight those and just start some speculation and some discussion on what was discussed in this article. Now, if you go on to like this video, a like would be appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can see when I post new articles on the Callisto Protocol and other video games that I play or cover. I'd really appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the first thing first is Glen Schofield talks about when Krafton is working with them, they basically have given me carte blanche and creative control. And he says, I've heard that before and not always gotten it, but they have been right to their word, man, and they have been great to work with, which is awesome to hear, because the last thing you want is somebody to be handicapped by, we need to make this much money, or we need it to sell this many units, or, you know, creatively hampering what their vision is for this game. And right off the bat to have Glenn say, look, I had this pitch. He says a 20-slide PowerPoint presentation of a horror game in space. I bet you anything came in, I want to make Dead Space, and I haven't been able to, so hey, can we make another Dead Space? And I'm sure Krafton was like, sweet, do it. Why do you think we hired you? And for those of you worried about the PUBG kind of tie-in, he did briefly state, you know, that they have a timeline. We fit in on that timeline. It's not going to be really deep, our connection with it. There'll be little connections here and there, and we'll probably be referencing each other from one time or another. But so PUBG and this Callisto Protocol will be kind of referencing each other back and forth in small ways, but it is definitely not going to be a huge tie-in there. The next thing they mentioned in this article, they're talking a little bit about prep and how the team has been researching for the game, because it's negative 139 degrees Celsius on the surface of this planet in real life, and they're trying to take that into account. It says a lot of the imagination and studying Antarctica a bit and studying other cold places on Earth and how we survive there. The game is set to be 300 years in the future, but the way people try to survive is based on approaches humans have taken throughout history. And from there, the devs have extrapolated how better tech could lead to an icy, hellish prison literally in the middle of nowhere. And besides, it's science fiction, so it's like, yay. All right, sounds great. I think any game that tries to root itself, at least in some kind of reality, and extrapolate on what the future would hold for that reality and base it on what real world events or real world technology existed prior, especially if it's in the future, is all a good thing, in my opinion. Next, they start talking about what they're trying to do to make this kind of the cutting edge next gen horror. They want to make this kind of a genre defining. They want to change things up, and they really are excited by what they're building, because we're building, right? It looks real. And, you know, they've looked real before, but it looks more real. They're way into it, right? So the fact that everything can look almost enough real for you to feel like you're there and you're part of this world, not just playing a computer character, but, you know, the detail being as real as possible makes you feel it even more. But when it comes to feeling it and being there in a more real sense of the word, the PlayStation 5 has some really unique tech built into it that's going to help them with that. And here Schofield says the sound is pretty amazing. It's 3D sound, and what you can do with that is integral to creating a survival horror game. You've got to have great sound, so the sound alone, I could just talk about the sound because it's amazing. You can hear something and it sounds like it's behind your back or it's just above you. And with the headphones on, it's insane. So maybe not right now, since this game's not coming out to 2022, but start saving up for them bitchin' ass PlayStation headphones, because the sound is going to make a whole hell of a lot of difference. And if you don't have good headphones, like you're playing with earbuds, you're not going to get the same experience that you would not playing with some decent PlayStation or some other branded headphones that can support this Tempest 3D audio tech. And it goes on to say the team have ideas for using the DualSense haptic feedback to immerse you in the horror too. We'll see how we can get that to work, but I think we can get a couple of scares right out of the controller itself, he says. There's a number of things that are really going to help us make a next generation survival horror. And that right there, as far as the PlayStation 5's concerned, might be the main reason to play this game on a PS5. Not only is the DualSense something where you can feel it, but it has a built-in microphone. So if you have that turned on, it's very possible that they could have something where you can't make a lot of noise because the monster could hear you and sense that you're near, and when you're trying to sneak or do some kind of stealth action and you can't because the microphone hears you scream. Something like that might be a real exciting way to play this game, similar to how Alien Isolation was. If you could play it with headphones that had a mic and it could sense that you were making noise or breathing too loud, something like that, might be a really cool feature to have into this game. I mean, it doesn't sound like they really started working on that part, because he's saying, well, we'll see how we can get that to work. I think really they're trying to build the game first and then add in PS5 features later. I don't think that that's something that you're going to see them work on first before the game's even done, because if it's not going to come out until 2022, here we are at the beginning of 2021. We got a lot of game building to do before they're ready to start working on kind of the icing on top, which would be haptic feedback support. That being said, though, if you have played on a PlayStation 5 and you felt this controller, it is amazing. I've been playing a few different games on my PS5 that I was lucky enough to get, and man, the controller is, I wouldn't say it's better than the Xbox controller. I would say it's right up there, but the haptic feedback on it is really good, and it can push certain game experiences over the edge, especially a survival horror game. I mean, I can imagine something that was designed around this controller, especially for scares. If you have the vibration and the haptic stuff turned on, man, I'm over the moon for this. the moon of Jupiter. I'm over that moon. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this support for the PS5 haptic controls? What kind of things do you think we should see in this game? What are you looking forward to? What are you excited about? Throw everything down in the comments below, and we'll start having a bunch of different conversations on this game. And if you have any other survival horror games that are coming out that I'm not covering, let me know. Make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I will see you when there's another Callisto Protocol update. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.